Hey everyone, and welcome back to OnCoffee. I'm your host Vahem. As always, we are here to explore the journeys, challenges, and passions of young oncologists around the world. And today we have a special guest, Dr. Miloš Grujić, a radiation oncologist from Serbia. And big congratulations to him. He was recently appointed vice chair of the Inequalities Network at the European Cancer Organization. Miloš, welcome to the show and congratulations on your new role.
Thank you, Vahe, for invitation. Thank you for having me. And it's a great pleasure to be here with you. Of course, I believe that your podcast would be very popular among healthcare workers and then the others, of course. So I wish you luck also.
Thank you for your kind words. Usually we kick things off by talking about coffee, but today we are making a special exception because Miloš does not like coffee. He's a more tea person. And honestly, that fits perfectly too. So before we start, I want to ask, how do you like your tea?
I enjoy my tea because I drink it from my favorite cup with my daughter. A picture on that cup. So my daughter Sarah and older one. So I enjoy it, of course. I don't drink coffee at all, but I didn't say that I don't use caffeine. So through some maybe energy drinks, but yeah, I'm a tea drinker.
The cup was very beautiful. And today I'm also drinking tea. The cup is OnCoffee, but I'm drinking tea. So tea also has such a deep history too, like coffee. Did you know that one legend says tea was discovered when a Chinese emperor accidentally boiled leaves that fell into his pot of water over 4,000 years ago? So today we are following a royal tradition.
Yeah, that story is familiar to me, but thank you for reminding me and listeners, of course.
And I guess whether it's coffee or tea, we all need something to keep us going. And actually, when we were choosing the name for our podcast, one of the other names was OncoTee, but we chose OnCoffee eventually. And exceptionally today, we can call our podcast OncoTee.
Yeah, I thought about that, but of course you're right. For me, it's more appropriate name today, OncoTee.
Miloš, let's go to oncology. You have been actively involved with organizations like ESO and ESCO. I want to know how has mentorship and international collaboration shaped your career as a young oncologist?
You know, when we talk about mentorships, this is one of the biggest turning points in my career. You know, it was like getting involved with the European School of Oncology, becoming part of ESCO network. So when I said ESCO, it means College of European School of Oncology. And if I may to mention my mentor, she's a president-elect of ESTRO, which is, let's say, our house for radiation oncologists. It's Barbara Jereček. And, you know, through that mentorship programs, courses, career development activities, beside Barbara, I connect with some of the brightest people in our field, of course. And it's not just learning oncology. It was like gaining confidence about realizing that event as young doctor from small country, you can have a voice in the international space. So this was a really, really great experience for me. And that support from your mentor is really powerful. And this is something which I now I try to pass to other through the ESO College Council and Career Development Working Group, where I serve as a co-chair with my great colleague and friend Eddie.
Yeah, it's very important to have a good mentor. And I want to ask, because we have young oncologists and students listening to us, I want to know what would you recommend to our young listeners and how they can find mentors or start building these kinds of connections?
They definitely should seek for mentorships, for mentors. You know, I think that early career oncologists now have a lot of opportunities for mentorships. Each of organization today, let's say ESMO, ESTRO, European School of Oncology, offer those type of mentorships, and all of the mentors are esteemed ones from, or also I'm based on Europe, but also ASCO and Astro, of course, American one. So this is a great opportunity, and they should seek for them, for mentors. Don't hesitate to ask questions, of course. There is something which I to emphasize. It's a language barrier. I see that thing in my country from my younger colleagues, that they skip those opportunities just because of a language barrier. So my first experience was in 2019 International Congress Masterclass from European School of Oncology, and my English then was, let's say, not strong as today. It is not strong even today, but it's much better than then. So through mentorship programs, they can not only learn something, but to get leadership skills, to connect with experts. So networking and collaboration overall is really essential for us, for oncologists in general, but for radiation oncologists, this is much more important, because radiation oncology is not as huge as, for example, medical oncology, and we are smaller field of medicine, but very important, because we know that today almost 50% of cancers are treated with radiotherapy. So for young doctors, just stay curious, never stop learning, seek the mentors, and don't hesitate to ask questions.
Thank you for your answer. Recently, in our previous episodes, I was talking with Daniel Porting, who is also a radiation oncologist, and he was also talking about the role of international organizations on career of young oncologists, and it was really interesting to talk with him. And he also mentioned about the language barrier, and we can say that in science, the most used language is English, and also in oncology. So knowing English is a must to become a good oncologist and to communicate with the big community of oncologists. I know you were a recipient of the CAS-Pr Scholarship. Can you tell us about how that experience transformed your approach, especially to prostate cancer care?
First of all, I want to thank the European School of Oncology for scholarship that they gave to me, and this certificate of advanced studies which they offer to oncologists are really, really, really great organized. And it was, for me, certificate of advanced studies in prostate cancer, really a game changer. When I finished my residency in Serbia, unfortunately, we perform prostate radiotherapy with, listeners from our field will understand, with standard conventional radiotherapy, but let's say that dose was minimal one. And I was always wondering how to implement and to improve that part of our everyday clinical practice. So that certificate of other studies helped me to implement new protocols, and of course mentorship on the other side, because I had the opportunity to go to European Institute of Oncology and let's say, learn how they perform that type of radiotherapy. And of course, they borrow me some protocols, which I implemented in my cancer center. So certificate of advanced studies is something which I want to recommend to all young early career doctors, because that program can give you a structured, deep knowledge of for example, in my case, prostate cancer, but in lung cancer or other types of cancers, prostate cancer management, of course. And what is maybe more importantly, it exposed me to different approaches across Europe. So I started to think more critically based on clinical evidence and also based on patient's perspective. So especially in non-metastatic cases. So I brought that mindset, back to Serbia and share it with colleagues, of course. And now I think that we are comparable to other cancer centers in Europe, when we talk, of course, about the prostate cancer. My opinion, when we talk about low and middle income countries like Serbia is, the most important is motivation, because it's not easy to motivate yourself to improve something in your country, because in Serbia, like many countries, the healthcare salary allows you to live, but not to grow academically, because you need to have support for that. And when you have, of course, and family, kids, responsibilities, it becomes even harder to invest in courses, conferences, or travel. Regarding radiation oncology, you don't have support of pharma industries, because we are not collaborating closely, like, for example, medical oncology. So it's even harder. So you need sometimes to invest your personal money, and it's not easy when you are in countries like Serbia is, for example. But still, I believe that we have a lot of young, great doctors, bright minds, which are somehow, enclosed here in Serbia and cannot give more or as much as they are capable for.
Yeah, the finances are very important. And talking about finances, pursuing academic growth in lower and middle income countries comes with real challenges. You have mentioned that you balanced it through scholarships and even music. Can you share a bit about that journey and how playing in a band helped you along the way?
This is the previous question was introduction, maybe the good introduction to this part, because I said that you need support for investing your personal money in some courses, conferences, of course, or travel. So the music has always been a big part of my life, to say, since I was 5. I play piano, also I sing. Let's say I play piano now because I have it in my living room, but I used to play keyboards, because events where I performed or my band was performed, was something where you cannot just bring your piano and play it. So the keyboard was the main instrument of mine. So I founded my personal band in maybe 2010, and let's say that it helped me a lot, because I need to mention some sad story, because with the, let's say, interesting band, serious band here in Serbia, probably you can earn more than a specialist of radiation oncology and not radiation oncology, in general specialist. Unfortunately, that is the true story. So it helped me a lot to stay here in this city previously, because my origin are eastern part of Serbia, not Kragujevac, which is in the heart of Serbia. And this is the first thing. And the other things, of course, it helped me to invest money in education, courses, travel, of course. So it was much easier with that support. Of course, now I have a lot more obligation. I'm a head of department at my clinical center. So you already mentioned some co-chairing positions and vice chair of Inequalities Network of European Cancer Organizations. So this is something which moved me, let's say, wider from music in general. I now play mostly for my friends and, occasionally just sometimes. But in general, music played a vital role in my education. I could say that.
That's really great to hear, and this is can be an example for our listeners that it's possible to study in medical university and still work, because some people just need to do that because they don't have the financial support. it's very important for them.
I don't play just for money. I play because I love the music, of course, and must mention even today that music is the way how I decompress, or let's say after a heavy day at hospital or anywhere, sitting at the piano, for example, clears my mind. It you know, I think I became more creative with that experience. So I can with music reconnect with myself, slow down let's say find some beauty in the day. And this is the, I think, a vital part of music, not money. Money was a consequence, of course, but it helped me a lot.
It's a great way to relax and just take a rest from the work. Do you have any original works, like music written by you, or you're just playing the famous works?
Actually, I'm going to talk like frontman of a band, which I'm not now, but when I was a frontman of that band, we had two songs. But how to say, we didn't were authors of that song. So now the things are today going like you are just buying some music and lyrics from some author, and you are just interpreter. Unfortunately, that's the situation. Of course, there's a cantautors all around the world, and this is the most beautiful thing. But in our case, in case of our band, it wasn't the situation. We had two songs. I must say that we didn't perform world popular music because in Serbia things are functioning like you're playing our national music, folk music, pop music, rock music, but each genre which you are capable to interpret. So this is the situation. Only in that way you can earn money. Playing popular music, unfortunately, isn't a situation where you can earn more money. That's the situation in Serbia, of course.
It's great. Miloš, one more question about music. What is your favorite international band?
Maroon 5.
Do you think your creativity outside of medicine actually helped you professionally too, in terms of resilience or thinking critically?
Believe me, I think every day about that, because I'm, let's say, young for some roles and duties I have in my country, and think that it helped me a lot, not just creativity, but that social intelligence, because you're dealing with people every day. So since 2010, I was, let's say, second year of medical studies. So from then you are dealing with not only with the listeners, but also with the chiefs or of owners of nightclubs, which are sometimes are not kind people, So everything, each aspect of music shaped me, and I think that social intelligence helped me a lot, and helped me even today to deal with my patient in everyday clinical practice, and of course with my colleagues all around the world through these organizations which we mentioned already.
Yeah, I see the music got a big impact on your life.
Yeah, after this podcast, each oncologist will play something somewhere publicly.
Miloš, let's shift gears a little. You mentioned that autobiographies and books like Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker really influenced your thinking. I want you to know, what is your favorite autobiography, and how Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker influenced you?
I haven't finished yet Why We Sleep, but I found it a really interesting book because I must say Matthew Walker, I didn't know actually who it is. I listened to some TED Talk with him, and it attracts me, and I bought a book, and of course, do research. Who is Matthew Walker, of course, and found that he is a professor of neuroscience and physiology at University of Caroline, Berkeley. And he started, let's say, I don't know the correct name of, let's say, research department for sleeping, let's say in that way, but I don't know the right name of that department. And I found a lot of interesting things in that book. Of course, that book has scientific support. Of course, not only just let's say random writing. And what is interesting, maybe I will say this, but you can cut if it's not in manner of this name OnCoffee. That, for example, one interesting thing from that book I read, that he mentioned NASA's research when they gave to spiders like caffeine and some drugs like weed, LSD, cocaine, and then watching for while spiders weaving the web, and believe it or not, it was surprising for me that the most unstructured, let's say, web was from spiders that drank coffee. So drank somehow they applicate caffeine in spiders. So this was interesting situation. And generally, the feeling while you're reading this book is that you just want to go to sleep, and you find that it's the most important part of the day. But unfortunately, when you stop to read a couple of days after that, you don't think about sleeping and just work. So maybe we should read, all of us should read that book, even just one paragraph each day to remind us that sleeping is a really important part of our life. Also, you mentioned autobiographies. I like one because I find inspiration in those books, like Nikola Tesla's story and Umberto Veronesi. For those listeners that don't know who Umberto Veronesi is, he is a founder of European School of Oncology, and this is a book that published from, of course, European School of Oncology. The author was Alberto Costa, who was, let's say, co-founder of European School of Oncology together with Umberto Veronesi. And I like his vision and dedication to cancer care. And this is something inspiring to me. And I want to continue to that vision, of course, of Umberto. And he was a surgeon, of course, but that vision, I think it's great for everyone, of course. And the other biographies are, sometimes I want to experiment with the modern people like Elon Musk, so I think that there's no, let's say, stupid book. So from each of them you can learn something new, something which can inspire you and motivates you to go through every day and to shape you, not only as oncologist but as a family guy, as a regular guy on everyday basis. So that's my opinion from those biographies generally.
Yeah, sounds interesting. It's a good way to learn from great people and try to implement their knowledge in your life. It cannot work, but it can also work. So it's really interesting. And regarding sleeping, I think it's very important for medical students and the young medical specialists to read that book, because sometimes we're studying and we forget about sleeping. And in that book, I didn't read that, but I just read the review of the book. It explains the way how not sleeping can change our life in a bad way. So it's raised the risk of cancer, it raised the risk of depression. And I think that there was an example with night owls and early risers. I don't remember how we call early risers. So people who are don't sleeping and staying late during the night, the risk of cancer and depression is higher. So it's important to have your at least 7 hours sleep in a day.
At least 7 hours, maybe 8 is more important. He said that it's important not how many hours you're going to sleep, but even the time when you lay down and get up early. So, that ratio, REM and non-REM phases and other parts, scientific parts, maybe I'm not appropriate right guy to talk about that, but even the time when you fall asleep and get up early, so that's very important in everyday life. So yeah, definitely sleeping is really important, and it can increase the cancer risk, of course, and depression, as he said.
So let's move on to another topic. I heard you might have some exciting exclusive news to share about a new regional radiotherapy society being formed. Would you like to tell our listeners a little bit more about that initiative?
This is exclusive news because, believe me or not, 2 hours ago we went to our registry center to register that society. No one have heard about this society, and this is maybe the opportunity to share that news. And this is a society about radiotherapy, of course, radiation oncologist. Remind me to tell something about radiotherapy and radiation oncology, please, after this. So it's a society, regional society. The idea is because, this part of Europe, somehow radiation oncologists are not recognized as we want in Astro, but of course we don't have many trials from this part of Europe. There's no national societies, or they exist, but only on paper. So our idea is somehow to create that society, which is called, now we know the name, Raising RO, which means Regional International Society of Innovative and the Next Generation Radiation Oncologists. It's a long name, but I think that abbreviation is a kind of modern one. And the idea is to organize radiation oncologists from region, let's say our neighboring countries like Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, even Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, of course, Serbia, Albania, why not? Even other countries who wants to be part of that, and to improve that collaboration researches in this part of Europe, to have, let's say, more important voice at Astro, for example, which is our main organization, European one. So this is the idea. We will see. Maybe this is the marketing now, but somehow to attract people, it's not easy when you start something to attract people to believe you that it's going to help them in their career. We talk about lack of motivation in our countries because of salaries. So somehow to offer them opportunities to develop their careers, even to support them through learning English. Why not? Each aspect is very important for our oncologist from Serbia, from this part of Europe. So this is the idea. Also, initiative to improve not only career of oncologists, but even our infrastructure. It's also a vital part when we talk about radiation oncology, a lacking of equipment, because this is the reality, unfortunately. So we cannot perform modern techniques in some of centers in this part of Europe. And I think things are going to change. We have some initiatives, and of course, I believe that our governments will change that and invest money in modernizing this field of medicine. But of course, we need some society to start initiative for changing things in radiation oncology on the first place, and to promote multidisciplinarity. It's really important part, because we have more and more involvement of immunotherapy, targeted therapy, together concomitant or with radiotherapy. So it's really important to collaborate with other colleagues, experts from other fields, which are involved in oncology, surgeons, of course. All of them are really important, because, I think that radiation oncology is really important. When I started to my residency, I heard from senior colleagues that said, for example, that radiation oncology would be, I don't know, turned off during the years. But no, I believe in totally opposite outcome, because we are witnesses that we have today even precise technology, radiosurgery, stereotactic radiotherapy. So we improved a lot of in general when we talk about radiation oncology, cancer outcomes. So this is a vital part of treating patients. So we need to improve in this part of Europe, and this is the idea of that society. And this is exclusive information. Maybe our listeners from this part of Europe can contact me, and to see how we can collaborate, improve, to listen to their ideas, and we will see. Of course, this is something enthusiastically from us, but I believe also when I see you and OncoDaily, this is also some initiative which start probably enthusiastically, and we see how you grow up. Everything is about growing. Personal growing in our careers. So we need somehow some support. Of course, we already talked about that. Support, motivation for growing, for improving. So that was the general idea about society.
I'm really happy that I'm one of the first person to hear this information, and congratulations you. And I'm really happy that OnCoffee is the first platform to this information is being shared. Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. Ambition and enthusiasm is the driving forces of doing something. And during the way, you don't have to listen the people that say that you won't succeed, because if you listen to them, it can turn very bad. So just do it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Like Nike, and like Nike tagline, just do it.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree with you. Just do it, and we will see. Maybe this is the historical moment. We will see in the future what's going to happen. We are going to try to make collaboration with bigger organizations to help us, to also OncoDaily. Why not for that commercial part? It's really important. So we will see. I believe in doing big things. No one can stop me to dream about that.
Thank you for sharing that information. You also mentioned that you want to tell me about something with radiation oncologist and radiotherapy.
Yeah, maybe this is the right place, or maybe we can share it on Instagram for our, let's say, non-oncologist, because most of colleagues which are not oncologists, for example, even oncologists, medical oncologists, calls us radiotherapist. I believe that we are radiation oncologist, and it's like specialist of physical medicine, specialist of radiation oncology. On the other side, you have physiotherapists and radiotherapists. So radiotherapy is a tool which we use for treating our patients. So that's my opinion, We are not radiotherapists. We are radiation oncologists and use radiotherapy just for treating our patients. So I want to make that distinction between radiotherapist and radiation oncologist. So that's what I want to say only.
Yeah, that's a big problem because everyone, even me, when I didn't took my oncology residency, I didn't know the difference between radiation oncologist and radiotherapy.
But believe me, it's easier to say radiotherapy. I don't know why. Even me sometimes tells that, but I want to make distinction between those two entities.
Miloš, thank you so much for sharing your story, your passion, and your insights. I want you to share also how people can contact you. Do you have LinkedIn? I don't know, Twitter?
Yeah, I have, I think, each of social networks. So LinkedIn, Twitter, maybe the professional one, and of course, some pictures from my everyday life, like Instagram, Facebook. I have a TikTok, but I don't post anything on TikTok. So yeah, you can follow me. And of course, I called your listeners if they are interested in some collaboration, networking. Of course, I'm here. Maybe we can use those conferences, bigger one, to meet each other. Of course, big conferences are great opportunities for networking and collaboration. So, of course, be free to contact me, whatever you need, if I can help you, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Miloš. It was really interesting to talk with you. I hope our listeners will love this podcast. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories from the world of oncology. And whether it's coffee or tea, keep the cup full and the conversations brewing. See you next time on OnCoffee. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.